Hi, I'm Doug Simon from DS Simon, here with Morgan Johnston from JetBlue at the PR News Social Media and Digital Conference. Morgan was just a speaker, and thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Great. JetBlue is obviously highly regarded as doing a fantastic job with social media. What are some of the things that you've been able to do that have made it so successful?
I think realistically, one of the biggest things that we're successful at is not visible to our public, which is how are we taking what we're hearing via social and actioning that internally. So that's the real-time conversations that we're gathering and bringing into the operation so that airports and our operations center understand what our customers are going through, but also how are we tracking all those numbers and those metrics and those themes from an organizational perspective to see where we're doing well and where we need to improve, and creating what we call a voice of the customer.
Now, do you find using these types of tools and engaging with social media, that makes it more credible internally when you're trying to get your own employees to make changes, perhaps do things a bit differently?
You know what? It's the stories that will always drive change. And to be able to point at real examples of customers' feedback when you're discussing a topic within our internal channel, suddenly employees, our crew members, are so much more engaged because they see how it really impacts our customers.
So tell us, what are some things, if you're a small organization without your resources and reputation, what are some of the first things they can do?
You know what, I really think that social media is something that anyone can do, no matter the size of the organization, so long as you have the passion and the interest in making sure that you're engaging with your customers. Realistically, start paying attention to your customers, for people who are talking about topics that are important to your business, and get involved in those conversations. Encourage other employees within your organization to get involved in those conversations. You don't necessarily need to be involved as a brand, but if you're involved as an individual, the brand will immediately follow as a natural progression of your engagement and passion for that channel.
And one of the things you're working on doing is trying to get your customers more engaged in the social media efforts. What are some guidelines and advice you have for doing that?
You know what, I think it's really important for those people who want to get their customers involved to make sure that they're level setting, managing the expectations of what is allowed and what's not allowed, or what's appreciated and what's not appreciated. I wouldn't open up the doors and set up a channel that automatically republishes every single photo that a customer sends, because that's how you get yourself in situations where customers take control and start posting things that you might not necessarily want. So curation is certainly important. But if you are setting the expectations of these are the sorts of things that we like, and if you are also rebroadcasting and applauding those people who are doing an exemplary job of submitting content, they feel enabled, they feel encouraged, and those people that you want to submit similar sorts of content will also be inspired to submit.
Awesome advice. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.